Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing the Deadpool Weapon X Heroclix set. We're going to do a tier list. We're going to jump straight in. To start us off, we are going to go through the commons and uncommons fairly quickly, as it's not many that stand out for me, honestly. Quickly, the categories we have are excellent, absolute weapons, good to have, not going straight in my basket, and Deadpool. So we're going to throw that in there. That's a bit more. This is sort of the section for the stuff where it's a cool figure. This is personal preference, of course, but they're not something that I personally want. So it's we've got a cool set of powers on this, but not something that I want. How about first, excellent. One of my favourite characters in the King Deadpool story, Jeff the Shark. It is summoned by one of the chasers as well, so it is very good. I'm going to throw Multiple Man. I couldn't remember his name off the top of my head. Very cool ability. It summons another one for free. Has Mastermind and Empower for 10 points. Definitely a very good piece in this set. Generic Hydra. It would be up here because I'm a big fan of Hydra, but there's nothing that summons him, and I just don't think I'm ever going to use it. So it's gonna go in there. Sadly, I love Hydra agents. I've got about 30 of them from the last set that did them. It's just nothing summons him, so I don't know when I'd actually use it. Deadpool robot. Bit mild. I'd even go as far as to put it there. This guy's straight up top. Anyone who's seen this, I think they're 5 points each, and they can carry someone across the map. You can make more of them. The more you have, the further they can move for free. Very cool. This is going to be in a lot of teams. There's going to be a lot of cool interactions with this. Right, you'll start to notice I'm not really a big Wolverine fan, and there happens to be like 15 Wolverines in this set or something. This is the cooler version of it though, because it is like a meme sort of version. But there is a better version of this, which we will go on to later. Morph, very cool in the X-Men 97 series, and actually quite a cool sculpt as well. As I said, I'm going to quick fire through these. We've got Boom Boom. Strife has a few cool, unique powers. It helps Pogs, makes them stronger, as well as gives them plasticity, which is quite good. Here's another one that's high on my wants. It's not going to go as far as there, but 25 points, you get a Jubilee that has Barrier, Sidestep, Pulse Wave, and Perplex. If you do want to see these dials, I do go through them in my Deadpool Weapon X set review at length, if you do want to see that. Oh, I don't know how that made it in there. And Bob from Hydra again. Love the character Bob. The power is good for Deadpool Corps themes, as it gives everyone Hydra. So I'm going to put it in good to have. It's just, I wanted a bit more from it, honestly, for it to go higher. There we go. Now we're at rares. We're going to slow down a bit for rares. Psylocke, it's been a while since we've had a good Psylocke. I actually quite like this one, so it is going to go into absolute weapons. Sheriff Deadpool, I'm not entirely sure if this is the one I'm thinking of, but isn't it? I swear there's a Walking Dead like Deadpool cover. I remember seeing it at Comic-Con like so many years ago. I don't know if that is that exact sculpt that this is, but it's exactly what it looks like. Forge, must have on robot teams. I like a lot of the rares in this set. Same with Cyclops. Has a support power that works with robots, vehicles. So both very good. I like running my master molds, so they're definitely going to be things that slot into that. Sabretooth, not the biggest fan of the character, so he'll be in here. Ooh, try and put him up front. Right, Rogue. Honestly, this would be higher, but because of the Prime Rogue, it's absolute powerhouse. Put it right at the top. Biggest one so far that we've seen. It turns off powers, it unequips for 250 points. Got like 3 stop clicks. It's just the perfect rogue. It's the best rogue that has been made. The strongest as well, I think. Absolute powerhouse. Next is Atlas Bear. That's going to be in the no-goes for me. Shatterstar, been a while again. Love the Mojo verse. Hopefully we get another Mojo soon. Beast. I sort of expect this to be seen a lot in Pulp. As triple outwit for 30 points. You can't go wrong. 30 points, triple outwit. It's got 20 defense up close as well with combat reflexes, so very strong. Lead Death Strike. Pandapool. He's going right to the top of this. Beast to the bottom. Very good for Pulp, but not a character at the X-Men that I'm a big fan of. Just like Cyclops, huge fan. Psylocke. Deadpool's one of my favourite characters, so you'll probably notice that. Colossus, good to have. Prime Colossus, very good to have. I would put it higher, but again, this is saved for characters who I have a personal interest in. Maybe Multiple Man would drop then because of that. It is a very good dial. It's still got there just for the utility in Heroclix. 10 points for Empower Mastermind, and it summons more of them. It's just got to. Gene, big fan of the character. Sculpt's okay. Dial, meh. Could even drop a bit lower, but we'll keep it up there. Mime Deadpool, my second biggest one so far. It power actions to pull a item onto it, and has a special barrier where you summon these special terrain markers. So it's just very cool. I think it's only 40 points as well, 6 clicks. What's not to love? I'm going to play that in like every team I play. People are going to get very bored of that. Banshee. Probably there. Again, not a huge character I'm into. Good to have. The Prime's quite cool. Bit more interest in the powers on that. Maverick. Another one straight into not going in my basket. Now we're talking. Now we're getting to the cooler ones. We have Scarlet Witch. Go right in there. It's been a while since we've had a good Scarlet Witch. It was, well, I'm sure you know the chase with the Darkhold. Didn't manage to get my hands on that, so I'm really excited to get a super rare of it, a bit more obtainable. Next we have Magneto. He's going to go in the top one just because everything he does. He has so many unique powers. A powerhouse Magneto. I'm a big fan of tentpole pieces, so you'll notice these big dial, big points. Big fan of. Gambit again, he'll be at the top of this, but it's not a character that I'm interested in that much. Storm, good to have. Domino. I do want it, but this is one of them where you need both of them, because when one dies, it turns into the other one. Sort of like the Sentry and Sentry Prime that we've just had. Right, so a controversial one for this set. Not a big fan of Wolverine. So he's definitely going to go in, because they have good sculpts, good powers. It's just not for me. Professor X from the X97 Shi'ar. Is that sculpt from that show? Very cool. Probably in top of good to have. Here we go. Wolverine, Deadpool. Absolute top of absolute weapons. Big fan of this sculpt. Looks really cool. The claws are huge on it. Next, Cable. This sculpt is one of the coolest we've seen for Cable. Just the powers didn't really match it. You can equip 2 items, but I mean, the gun that size, you sort of expect him to have something like penetrating or ranged combat. So it was a bit disappointing. So I'm going to think it's going to slip to good to have. Right, so Wolverine, Phoenix. Big fan of Phoenix and Jean Grey, but again, not a big Wolverine fan. So a lot of these will drop. I'm a big fan of zombies though, so that's going to go up a bit higher. Next you have Deadpool and Wolverine duo. We're going to put that up here as well. Is that, no, we put morph because I want a morph. I haven't had a good morph in a while. Yeah, I'll go like that. Big fan of the duo ability. This is, what's the name? Wolverine and LCD. I want to say. Let's see if I'm right. LCD, yeah. Deadpool and Hitmonkey, here we go. Right to the top there. Quirky piece, nothing too special about it. Deadpool and Death. Huge fan of Thanos as well as Deadpool, so Death is seen quite a lot in the stories that I read. Really cool. He's sat in a lap, it's just brilliant. Love the sculpt, great figure, straight to the top. But straight away, it's knocked off that top spot because this figure is directly from King Deadpool comic book. I think it's on the 3rd or 4th issue now of the graphic novels. Elsa and Deadpool together, perfect. I won't spoil anything from it. Perfect, really good duo. They work well off each other, and the dial's actually very good as well. Big fan of that piece. Easily my biggest one. Next we have the Fastball Special with She-Hulk rather than the classic Colossus. I'm going to put this a bit higher just because really cool sculpt, as well as it's a duo, 2 characters, and it's iconic, the fastball thing. I remember it on the old chases, Colossus and Weapon X, where you could throw that chase. So these two, annoyingly, are the play at home kit. I bought this because obviously it's got mapping and stuff. I want the maps. I'm very happy with the maps still. Just these two. I mean, where is it there? The exact same sculpts as in the set, and the sculpts aren't great. And then also, I didn't really like the dials, to be honest. Personally, I didn't like them. You might, but yeah, I'm still glad I got it, of course, because I do want the maps. Have as many maps as you can. Multiple Man is a better dial, but his didn't come with a map. That's why I went for the Deadpool and Wolverine one. Here he is, tiny Wolverine. He has a special effect. I think they're called chibi, is it? The little ones? Unless I'm getting that completely wrong. He's 40 points and he has a special effect, sort of like the old Obnoxio, the clown, Connex, where he doesn't take damage. He has Pi tokens, and once he loses them all, he's KO'd. Just a really unique little dial. I've probably put it up there. It's the only Wolverine where it's like memey enough for me to want it. I don't know what that is. Is that one's Hound, which will go for the other Wolverine chasers. Phoenix will put up here actually, because I'm a big fan of Phoenix. And then I think this is Patch. I can't really tell. It's a really small picture for some reason. We're going to move on from that though. We have Mystique, the Legacy. I do have all the Legacy figures from this set, other than Tiamat. Mystique's probably just one that's not really for me. Hitmonkey, big fan of the character. One of the first team ups I ever read of Deadpool's. It was this and Hellcow. I'm going to put it in good to have though. Nothing that interesting that I'm after on their dials. I do like the double stop click on the Hellcow, so I think I might put that one up to there. Next we have Shikla, straight up there. Big fan. Deadpool dated her in the comics. Really good arc that. And Phantom X still summons his Eva token. Cool sculpt, cool dial. I'm going to put that up there of that. Next we have Deadpool and Bob, right to the top. I still play that figure to this day. Very cool at 200 points, but now it is a 80 point dial, I think, and it fires sheep, which is just brilliant. Wolverine and X-23. It's a duo, so it's going at least good to have. Big fan of the duos. Same with Weapon X. If you're playing a Brotherhood or X-Men theme team, this is huge to have. It's got some really good abilities that work off that. Tiamat actually ended up being one of my biggest wants from the Legacies, as it has the pilot ability, which is the ability from Wheels of Vengeance. I really enjoy that ability, and its pilot thing is Deadpool, I believe. So you put Deadpool in its card and you get the powers from that. I mean, Deadpool's my favourite character, so it's just perfect. Next up, Weapon X. I actually had 2 of these chases when the set dropped. The ones in the test tube. The best Wolverine sculpt they've ever made, I'd say. I have traded mine off. as it went to extortionate values. It's still going good to have, just because while I'm not the biggest fan of Wolverine, it is the best Wolverine has been, and it is a cool character. Last up, Krakoa Legacy. Right up here, we'll go. We can't beat Jeff. I think Jeff should be there because that summons it for free. So I think that, yeah, that's it. So our top spots are King Deadpool and Elsa, who summon the Jeff the Shark. Big fan. And Prime Rogue, Deadpool and Death duo, Mime Deadpool, Krakoa Legacy, Time Breaker, I want to say, Magneto, Super Rare, and the little chibi Wolverine. I'm going to move this up, screw it. Tiamat also up there, just for the pilot ability. Big fan of it. These two almost make it as well. But that is my tier list for, obviously, huge personal preferences. No Wolverines, unless they're down here. But that is my list. What are your favourites out of this set? What figures do you want the most? What figures do you hope you're going to get? And what do you think of the set as a whole? And I will see you in the next one.